everyone, and welcome to Letty Does Playing Lone Wolf the Huntress, Book 3, Echoes of Eternity, Part 7. So I know at the end of my last Let's Play, I had mentioned that I would actually be taking a pause from this in order to play Lone Wolf, the Fortress of Death. However, I am having some technical issues figuring out how exactly to film that, so I am going to be continuing with this at the moment, and then I will let you guys know when I am next going to film that. Because of that, here we are back on page 205. That was the last thing that I had done. I took the stairs and then I looked at all these murals, and then it asked me, do you have knowledge of the little thief? And I do. So I need to come here again, and I need to write yes, knowledge. And then we are going to go to section 9. You recognize the diamonds as matching the one you saw in the bag of the hooded thief. There is a good chance that he comes here at some point today to steal them. This knowledge gives you the opportunity to catch him in the act and learn more about who or what he is. If you wish to hide behind one of the pillars and wait for the thief, turn to 177. If you have rope and something to use to lure Cat's Eye, Gemstone, Diamond, or at least one gold crown, turn to 141. If you do not wish to wait here, then climb back up the stairs and continue through the city, turn to 120. Okay, so it kind of sucks because I do have something to lure them with, but I don't think I have a rope. I don't. That sucks. Okay. Never mind that. What should I do about that? The other options are hide and wait, or thank you. Really? Thank you. I forgot to tuck that away. Thank you for reminding me. Little monster. Yeah? Where to go now, you little punk? No, I can't leave it there. I'll forget. Don't touch anything, please. Thank you. I love you. Don't touch anything. You can sit here. You can sit right there. Don't touch anything, okay? I've already come all this way. I guess I should hide. Even without anything to capture them with. I don't know where I would get a rope in this city. All day long you wait, while the sun's reach grows ever longer, stretching like a finger of fire down the mural-lined path until it lights up the purple diamonds in the mural's lower half, reflecting violet prisms all across the yellow stone. During this time, you must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance from your current and maximum endurance. Finally, You see movement on the path and duck behind one of the pillars to observe. It is your thief, sure enough. The little shape with its heavy sack and patchy brown cloak are unmistakable. It approaches the wall, sets down its burden, and goes to work with a sharp knife on the closest diamond it can find, one just above its eye level, about 4 feet up on the wall. It reaches it in a show of its climbing skills, clambering up the sandstone as if it were a spider. However, it stops halfway through its work, raising its head and making several snorting sounds as if sipping the air. Then it turns its head towards your hiding spot, red eyes gleaming in the shadows of its hood. It hisses and drops from the wall, snatching its bag and darting away so quickly you do not even have time to consider giving chase. You walk to where it was working and pry the diamond the rest of the way out of the wall, studying it. It is a remarkable gem. You may keep the diamond as a backpack item. The day is too late to do more exploring. The apocalypse will be upon Voltac soon. You make your way back to the forge. Turn to 19. That's annoying. Okay. Well, I do have a meal, so let's use a meal. And then, oh look, I just have had a slot opened up. Perfect for a diamond. I now have 2 diamonds. What will I do with those diamonds? I don't know. I might just have to throw them away. I don't think I have use for the diamonds. I have a lot of coin otherwise. Let's turn to 19. I guess I've wasted my time today. Great. That evening in the forge, she shares a simple meal. Okay, wait, I've already read this. Yes, I've already read this potentially twice, right? Is this the first? No, I've already read it before. So this is just where I am going to be, like, ending up every day. Let me see what I can do again. So I already asked Tavosh about the little thief, and I do not need to cut conversation short until I get the rope. I'm not sure what to do, unless maybe I can interact with it before I get there. And then there is also that weird little kid that was singing, and I didn't stop to listen, instead choosing to go to witness labor. Maybe I can go get some information from the little boy. I don't know. Okay. What I will do is I'm trying to remember. Oh wait, there's a map. One moment. Useful map? Where's the map? Okay. The beach. Destiny's Boulevard. Destiny's Boulevard is here. Do you see any merchant stalls? I don't really... Hmm. Maybe I should try Destiny's Boulevard again. That seems important. That's why it's being highlighted. How do I get to Destiny's Boulevard? I need to go towards Grace Dancer Road, right? Oh, I was going to... I forgot if I was going to settle on Venthusias or Venthusias for that word. I tried. Let's ask Tabosh about the followers of Venthusias. The more information Tabosh can give me, the better. None of them are inherently bad people, I suppose, Tabosh grudgingly admits. They are under a spell, one cast by Venthusias. Tabosh suspects Venthusias was a renegade elder magi who broke with his brethren to wander Magnamon on his own, picking up followers as he went by impressing them with his power. Those he brought to Voltec are an offshoot of the people with which will eventually become the Vaqueros, perhaps a folk that lived in one of the swamps or forests of the mainland, a people he encountered before all the other elder magi did, Tabosh says. Everything I've seen tells me that Venthusias was what my people call a skin tailor. He used magic to shape flesh. It would explain why he's depicted with stars for eyes. That's not something inherent to the Elder Magi. It also explains the unnatural appearance of the Vole. I'm sure you've noticed they are not like other people. He didn't just change their bodies, though. He also shifted their minds. They worship him like a god, believing everything he does is for their good. His most fervent and loyal followers are invited to become speakers and whisperers. They are taken into the halls of supremacy, and when they come out, they are not the same. What about the faceless, you ask? The one who wears the blank white mask. He seems different from the others. Tabosh assumes a grim expression. I've only seen him once, and I don't care to again. Listen, that man is dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if he was sent by Nar himself from the plains of despair. Stay far, far away from him. What's the worst he can do, you ask? Even if he kills me, I'll just come back. What do you call it, reset? Tabosh shakes his head. No, really listen. The Faceless appeared after the time loop began. I didn't see him for at least 1,000 resets. He may even be aware of the loop. You want my advice? Stay away from the halls of supremacy, and if you see the Faceless, run. The rest of the evening passes in peace, and in the morning you head out into the city. You can take Grace Dancer Road towards the halls of supremacy, turn 248, or you can wander the city heading towards the beach, turn 294. So here's the thing. I know Tabosh just said, don't go to the halls of supremacy. But if I'm trying to find out where all this creepy stuff is happening, it really seems like the halls of supremacy is just kind of the place to go, isn't it? I want a rope. What to do? Let's go to Grace Dancer Road for now. Then again, there was that weird little boy. Grace Dancer Road. Sorry, Tabosh. Thank you for warning me, but I don't really listen. I have already read Grace Dancer Road's page. I have not been to Destiny's Boulevard again, so let's go there. That went so well last time. Destiny's Boulevard. I don't believe I have read that section. No. Destiny's Boulevard is very different now from when you last were here. Now every cart is manned by someone, and the street is full of people wearing lavish colors and bright smiles. Some of the carts hold toys, which the vendors hand out to excited children. Others hold food, mostly fruit and vegetables, but somewhere you smell meat cooking over a hot fire. The smell is painfully enticing. After a half mile, the street ends at a huge building decorated with massive fluted pillars and fronted by a golden statue of the bearded man you have seen on other murals. You are sure now this is Venthusius. His flowing robes, expertly carved so that they appear to be billowing in an unfelt wind. Running along the top of the building just above his head, letters tall as you proclaim, all that we are, we owe to him. Crowds of people are going into the building and coming out laden with armfuls of goods, amazingly dyed bolts of cloth, spools of yarn, stacks of parchment, and bottles of golden ink. There is even livestock being traded, and the braying of goats mixes with the cluck of chickens, adding to the overall ambience of a perpetual market day. If you wish to go into the building, turn to 32. If you wish to find a street vendor selling food, turn to 232. If you continue on towards the beach, turn to 146. Okay. I'm not going into the building. I'm not. Creepy. I guess I'm just gonna be like Monkey D. Luffy and I'm following the smell of meat. If they're just handing out children's toys, I guess I don't need to have the children's toy on my person. You follow your nose to where a man with a smile almost as broad and mighty as his mustache has set up a small fire and is roasting meat over it. When you approach, he grabs a skewer of meat off the fire and slaps it into a large piece of soft flatbread. Wrapping the bread around it, he deftly pulls the skewer free, leaving the tender meat inside the bread like a sandwich, with the juices soaking into the dough. He hands this to you with a generous smile. He does not ask for payment. If you wish to keep it, add a meal to your backpack. If you insist on paying the man and have gold crowns to do so, turn to 65. Or you can move along to the building, turn to 32. Or continue to explore the city, turn to 146. Okay, awesome. I got meat. I'm of course going to keep it. So plus meal, what will I replace? Do I need the child's toy? I'll get rid of the child's toy. Goodbye, child's toy. Hello, meal. I'll keep the diamonds for now. But I think whatever I do next, I can get rid of a diamond. I have a lot of coin. Maybe. So plus meal minus child's toy. I have gold crowns, so I will pay them. Because, I don't know, seems rude not to. Then again, will he even recognize the coins that I'm using? They're very new? I don't know. When you press the coin into the man's palm, he holds it up to the sun as though comparing the two. Now that's a pretty thing, he says. Reminds me of the Dwaro trinkets you'll find down on the beach when the tide is right. Suppose it's proof they used to live here. I used to hunt for them as a boy, convinced if I caught one, they'd have to grant me wishes. He winks at you. Never needed to wish for much before the plague came, to be honest. Even then, Bentusius looked after us. He kissed the tips of 2 fingers and raised them skyward, a sign of benediction. The man refuses to take more than a single coin for the food. Add knowledge of trinkets to your action chart and erase a single gold crown. You are turning your attention to the stone building at the end of the road when you notice a tall figure in a wide-brimmed purple hat and jet black robes enter. He walks straight enough, but there is a hump in his back, as if the jacket is hiding something. Do you wish to follow this man into the building, turn to 32, or you can continue exploring the city, turn to 146? I'm not following anyone into no buildings. Oh, maybe that's the thief? I doubt it. He said big rimmed hat. Okay, firstly, I will need to erase 1 gold crown. So, let me do that. I now have 40. I can just turn that into a 0. There you go. You got 40 now. I have so many. This is the most I've ever had, but I don't have anything to spend it on. Where can I get a freaking rope? Where's the ropes? I don't know. Maybe I can find like rope from some shipwreck thing by the beach. Boats crash here all the time, apparently. Oh, and add the knowledge of trinkets. 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 There. Finally, where are you? Where are you? Let's explore. Have I already done that? No. All roads in Votek eventually feed into the Spear Path, the single road which switchbacks across the very base of the mountain down through the legs of Voltek's guardian angel, the stone warrior forever guarding her, and you, supposed, forever failing to guard her. You emerge under the shadow of her spear, its mighty tip driven into the earth, and step out onto white sand. This close to the city, the beach is a popular destination. Adults and children alike wallow in the calm waters, and young couples lay on the warm sand. The onion-shaped island out in the water has its normal contingent of birds swarming it. To the north, the beach only goes on another mile before ending abruptly in thick jungle. To the south, the beach stretches on, and you can see the hazy distant shape of watchtowers. Either direction you trek along the beach will take a couple of hours, and you will need to eat a meal or lose 3 endurance from your current and maximum endurance. Turn to 194 if you have the knowledge of trinkets. Otherwise, if you wish to head for the jungle, turn to 117. Or if you head for the watchtowers, turn to 47. There's a jungle? Okay, what are you doing, homeboy? Come here. Come here, come here, come here. You are just pacing in between my legs. What do you need? You need a hug? Here's a hug, okay? Look at your sister. Look, it's nap time, okay? You're gonna take a little nap. You're gonna take a little nap. How about a little nap in your little box, huh? How about you take a little nap in your little box, huh? Huh, buddy? How about it, huh? What do you need, pal? You wanna go up? Okay, up you go. Up you go. Mwah, love you. Get up there. There you go, buddy. There you go, pal. You gonna stay up there? You distracted me. Here's Barry. Okay. Where was I? Right. So I kind of want to go to the jungle, but we'll get to that later. Also, I need to eat a meal, so just gained a meal, just lost a meal. I guess I have an empty slot now, so that's fine. As long as I have a meal to lose, it's okay. I don't need to have a reserve. That's all right. I have diamonds. I'll eat the diamonds. Yum, yum, yum. Let me go to 194 because I do have knowledge. Trinkets. As you walk, you catch sight of an object half buried in the beach. You kneel and brush away the sand from a rusted dagger. Flecks of metal become brown dust on your finger as you run it down the blade, which long ago lost its ability to bite. You may keep this relic if you wish, and you may carry it as either a backpack item or weapon, but it is unusable in combat and cannot be thrown with the fussy car. Draw a line through the knowledge of trinkets on your action chart. You cannot gain or use this knowledge again. If you wish to head for the jungle, turn to 117, or if you head for the watchtowers, turn to 47. Okay, well, if I can't use it as a weapon, why would I keep it as a weapon? A backpack item? Okay, let's keep it as a backpack item. Let's replace the diamond. I don't know why I wrote keep backpack. That's so confusing. Why'd I do that? I didn't even write what it was. Duh. Oh, sorry. Is that making too much squeaking noise? Let's get rid of a diamond. Let's get rid of... Oh wait, I don't need to. I had a slot. Oops. Okay. I don't need to yet. No need for the minus diamond yet. Okay. There we are. Just plus Rusty Decker. Jungle or watchtowers? Map? Watchtowers. Don't know. These are the stairs. Jungle? Is that a bad idea? I wonder if I can come back from the jungle. Okay, let's see what's in the jungle, I guess. I don't do well with jungles either. I don't do well with boats, and I don't do well with jungles. I just came out of a jungle. You'd think I'd be very hesitant to go in again. Well, it was a swamp, I guess. I don't know what logic I'm supposed to use. I'm sorry. Jungle. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Oh no, I'm seeing something that says, oh no. If you have already been here to this section, then there is nothing more for you to find here. You head in the other direction instead. Turn to 47. The jungle is full of life. You are followed through it by long-tailed monkeys with incredible green fur, except for their bellies, which are bright blue. They swing nimbly through the trees above you, chittering happily and occasionally snatching giant pink fruits from the trees. If you have the mark of the Agarashi, turn to 203. If not, you spend all day exploring the jungle, and while you see more species of bird than you are able to count, you find nothing that suggests the egg-like substance which the people of Voltec call their medicine is being harvested here. If you have the art of alchemy, you find enough materials to make a single item from your recipe list. Eventually, you see the sun reaching the point in the sky when the apocalypse will occur. Not wanting to be caught in it, you head back to the city and the forge. Turn to 19. Well, that's not good. If it says, if you've been here before, there's nothing else here for you. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. And then it says, The reason it happens is because I have the mark of the Agarashi. Have mark. Yeah, and then I can't make anything because that's only if I do not have the mark of the Agarashi. So I feel like this is going to be something bad. All right, I filmed parts 7 through 10 of this Let's Play all in one go, and this clip that you're watching marks the end of part 7. Stay tuned for part 8. That's all I got for you for now. Get out there, do all the stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!